SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flo.
In the headlines, PM Gonsalves urges UN to desist from making excuses for the many issues that threatens global peace and security. TNT Police Complaints Authority expresses concern about police shootings in the country. Iran denies that it brought down Ukrainian plane with a missile. And in sports, Windy secures ODI series win over Ireland with a 1-wicket victory on Thursday. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports at 6:45.
That was the news headline sponsored in part by Flo.
Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV News and Sports for Friday, January 10th, 2020. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves yesterday addressed the UN Security Council open debate on the importance of upholding the UN Charter for the maintenance of international peace and security. This was PM Gonsalves' first address to the Security Council since SVG assumed its non-permanent seat on January 1st. PM Gonsalves, among several speakers, called on members of the UN to desist from making excuses for the many issues that threaten global peace and security.
That it is plainly wrong, similarly, for any state or group of states to be in quest of hegemony or to be engaged in the unilateralist weaponizing of international trade, commerce, finance, or banking. We all know that the treasured right to self-defense cannot be exercised disproportionately or outside the boundaries of international law. We all know, too, that it is unacceptable to support or harbor terrorists and international criminals, to facilitate the spread and use of nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons, or to deny people basic fundamental human rights. Yet in these hallowed walls of our UN, there is a daily diet of justification for that which is plainly wrong or unacceptable. We ought to resolve in this new year to desist from so doing.
PM Gonsalves further told the gathering of the Security Council that St. Vincent and the Grenadines intends to uphold the UN Charter, which has as its foundation to maintain peace and security worldwide, while at the same time gives voice to those who need it.
Mr. President, one of the essential contributions to be made by small states like ours is the tireless advocacy for timeless principles enshrined in international law. With no ideological or geostrategic axis to grind, we consider it our solemn obligation not only to articulate these principles, but to ensure that they are applied consistently and upheld in the international community as universal truths rather than selective, uneven, and unpredictable tools to further hegemonic power or great power ambition.
Climate change was another issue raised by PM Gonsalves. He noted that climate change is a global threat and emphasized the need for member countries to do their part to lessen the impact of this threat, particularly on small island states.
Accordingly, our best collective efforts require the fixing of underdevelopment, economic insecurity, and vulnerability to external shocks, so as to limit unnecessary conflicts and discord. Similarly, we must acknowledge and act upon the security consequences of climate change, the misuse and abuse of the Earth's resources, inclusive of the seabed, and the weaponizing of outer space. As I conclude, Mr. President, I want to say a few simple, straightforward things. The arrogance of power, however derived, too often imbues human beings and nation states with a sense that restraints upon them are impermissible.
Earlier this week, SVG's second deputy permanent representative to the UN, Dr. Halima Dishong, delivered a statement at the UN Security Council briefing on the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, UNOWAS. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister called into WeFM 99.9 today, where he gave a synopsis of his meetings held with top officials and leaders at the UN General Assembly, which he said was possible because of SVG's tenure as a non-permanent member of the Security Council.
The permanent representative wanted to talk to us about the border crossing in Syria, with some humanitarian issues. And we had bilaterals with Vietnam, with Nicaragua, with Mary Robinson, former president of Ireland, who now heads what is called the Elders Group. She was given an invitation to speak to the Security Council on the morning yesterday. And had a private bilateral with the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, and then there was a luncheon. They've instituted a luncheon for members of the Security Council.
He noted that SVG's permanent representative to the UN, Her Excellency Rhonda King, was chosen to be a part of the Food and Agricultural Advisory Group, which is another achievement for SVG.
She has accepted. It's the first time of intervention is being asked to sit on the 12-member Food and Agricultural Organization Management Advisory Group. It's people from all over the world, distinguished people from North America, from Europe, from Asia. This is by the Director General of the Food and Agricultural Organization, which is an agency of the United Nations. It's headquartered in Rome. The Director General said, I will count on your frank advice and positive feedback in supporting the FAO to further strengthen its activities to assist countries in realizing the potential of their agriculture and food systems.
With this being an election year, the two main political parties here are confident of a victory at the polls. General Secretary of the ruling Unity Labour Party, Julian Francis, said the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, has no chance of winning.
The feel on the ground tells me that NDP has lost ground between 2015 and now. The change in leadership didn't help their image. In fact, I think it worsened their image. And their public pronouncements and speeches, and they went to New York for a town hall meeting, and in answer to one question, Mr. Friday tells the fellow he'd have time to explain that. Just give me your vote and I can tell you what we could do, and I'll show you what we could do. People don't look for vote that way, and people don't take that way to a political party. So I think that the NDP is on a downward slide since the change of leadership. Everybody was criticizing Mr. Eustace and time to change him, and Friday's a man. Well, maybe he only operates on Fridays, but the town hall meeting in New York was not on a Friday.
Leader of the NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, said he is confident of a resounding victory for the NDP at the polls.
Our goal is to win the election in 2020, and nothing is going to stand in the way of the will of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Meet them. For myself personally, I'm going to continue to walk about, campaign to go and meet Vincentians all over the country. And this is something that I believe is essential. If you want to represent people, you have to know where they are, you have to meet them where they are, you have to understand what they're feeling, and give them the confidence that you not only understand what they are going through, but that you will do something about it. And I believe that's why people are coming towards the New Democratic Party, because we have done so. I have done so in my campaign since I've been the leader of the party all over the country, and we continue to do that. Of course, immediately we're preparing for the budget, which comes up sometime.
Meanwhile, Dr. Friday says once voted into office, they will continue with the developmental projects that the ULP government has started, but they first have to be properly examined.
It's election year, right? So you're going to have all kinds of projects going to come. They're going to announce that they have $300 million of capital spending. They can't implement that because they don't have the infrastructure for doing it, you know. But the projects that the geothermal project, we have said that we support that project. I hope it succeeds, because if it's going to bring cleaner and cheaper energy to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that's something that's good for all of us. And you know, so we will examine that project if the geothermal project will do that. And there have been some promises made, although there have been fits and starts. You know, I hope that it succeeds, and certainly my government will bring it to a successful conclusion. Same thing with all the other projects. They're talking about moving the port and doing developments here and there and hotels and all that. The hotel things we do accept that we need hotel rooms on the mainland. You know, when
Health Minister Luke Brown is in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, representing SVG at the 10th session of the Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA. On radio today, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said SVG applied for funding from the grouping, and the Health Minister is on hand in the event the grant is approved.
Meeting of IRENA, this is the International Renewable Energy Agency. But very importantly, I wanted the Minister to be there just in case we get a project which we had applied for, 2.5 megawatt solar project in Beckway with a company in battery storage, the energy. In the original iteration, it was around 15 million, but the final submission we made about 12.5 million US. You know, the Abu Dhabi Development Fund, they have a number of projects which come to them on an annual basis, but they select on the nature or the basis of the project.
According to the Prime Minister, the grant is specifically for the solar energy project in Beckway, which will be of great benefit for the residents.
Now, this big one in Beckway, we also apply for money as a grant from the Green Climate Fund. So, but they would only act, I've been advised, until after we see how much we are going to get maximum from the Abu Dhabi Development Fund. So this would make a big difference to the people in Beckway. I know that some persons would be saying that, you know, for Beckway, you know, the usual political thing. As you know, I represent every single part of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Do my best with every single part of it.
Government praised for its work in community development. This and other local stories coming up when we come back after these messages. Stay tuned.
The local news sponsored in part by Flow.
Limited is now located on the 3rd floor of the first St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products to furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the first St. Vincent Bank building. Don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. C-Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of, one that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Breaking news! The greatest tile sale in the history of St. Vincent is back. With more, here's Thin Setment Rowdyface.
Thanks, Juan. Yes, free tiles for Christmas is back at Island Style Interiors, and there's real excitement in the air. Get this, buy 100 tiles at the regular price and get up to the next 25 tiles absolutely free.
Wow, that is a great deal.
Sure is, Juan. My wife's making me buy tiles right now before they sell out.
Vincent? Oh well, this is Juan Cool Guy signing off and heading to Island Style in Arnos Vale for free tiles! Wait for me! Yay!
Kidney disease is a growing concern around the world and here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Chronic kidney disease is a life-threatening condition which occurs when a person's kidneys are no longer able to clean the toxins and waste products from the blood or perform other kidney functions normally. When this happens, a person needs dialysis. Dialysis is where a machine takes over the function of the kidney and safely removes the poisonous waste from the blood. Since 2012, Health Solutions Inc. has operated a full-service hemodialysis facility in SVG that offers state-of-the-art equipment, courteous, well-trained staff, and a comfortable treatment environment.
We're encouraging for early detection. Anyone who is either diabetic or hypertensive and has any questions or concerns, please contact us at 784-451-2836 or visit us at www.healthsolutionssvg.org.
Sunday, January 12th, the Unity Labour Party holds its national convention at the Camden Park Secondary School under the theme ULP Winning Again for SVG. Registration of delegates begin at 8:30 a.m. The open public session starts at 9:30 a.m. and after lunch we go into our closed business session. Hear from officers of the party along with political leader and the Prime Minister, Dr. The Honorable Ralph Gonsalves.
I'm very optimistic about this year for the continued socio-economic transformation of our country and the enhancement of our work globally.
So focused this year, I'm gonna win this year. I just progress. We end us on ya.
ULP Winning Again for SVG. All constituency councils are asked to arrange meals and transportation to and from the venue for the Unity Labour Party National Convention, Sunday, January 12th at the Camden Park Secondary School. Put on your red and hot up the head. The ULP Winning Again for SVG.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. Minister of National Mobilization and Youth, Frederick Stevenson, said the government should be commended for spending a significant amount of money for community development across the country. Delivering brief remarks at the groundbreaking ceremony of the South Central Windward Multipurpose Sporting Facility today at Sanssouci, Minister Stevenson said some of these projects will help the youth to better their lives and reduce crime and violence in SVG.
Last year, as part of the budgetary exercises, we launched what is called the Sports Against Crime campaign here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And throughout last year and into this year, we are going to be moving into several communities to help the communities to better themselves and to reduce incidences of crime and violence through sporting activities. And that is a wonderful achievement, and that is something that is good for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We remember a few years ago when we launched the Pan Against Crime campaign. Those of you who are older than I am would remember when for one panorama competition, there were only 3 pan sides in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And they competed, and 3 of them got prizes, first, second, and third. But now, since the launch of the Pan Against Crime campaign, we have had several pan sides throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines so that we can have a junior pan competition and we have the senior pan competition. There are several of those pan sides here in the constituency.
Minister Stevenson said his ministry has been working on a number of programs to get the minds of the youth occupied with different activities which will contribute to more positive behavior in society.
Because we see when young people are involved in activities of this kind of nature, whether playing football, basketball, lawn tennis, table tennis, athletics, we see what can become of them, and we can see the changes in communities where sporting disciplines are fully organized and integrated into the communities. And so this morning, Minister Caesar is launching and having the groundbreaking ceremony for this facility.
As for the elderly, Minister Stevenson said that he would like to see more activities taking place at the community level, targeting the elderly.
I'm happy today, and I'm very pleased as the Minister of Social Development. I want to see a lot of activities here because we have the elderly who live among us. We have persons with diabetes and other persons with a disability who would want to come to this facility to do little exercises and that sort of stuff to keep them fit and healthy and strong. And for the young people's advancement and development here in Sanssouci, in the entire constituency of South Central, and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a whole. God bless you on this beautiful Friday morning.
Several persons here are said to be in a better position to deal with disputes at all levels, having benefited from various training programs locally and regionally. This was stated by head of the Regional Impact Justice Project, Professor Velma Newton, while addressing participants at the opening ceremony of a 2-day restorative practices workshop at the Sunset Shores Hotel for students of the Teacher Education Program at the SVG Community College.
Early last year, at the JP Eustace Memorial Secondary School, and we selected 13 boys and girls, and we had sessions on English and mathematics, team building through sports, how to cope with violence, and gender, and some other topics. And it was very interesting in hearing the views of those children, so they were very vocal. It is my regret that we were not able to continue offering programs such as that throughout the region. We only did it in Barbados and St. Vincent.
Professor Newton said more than 60 teachers have been trained and are in a better position to deal with disputes in schools.
In 2017, we trained 63 teachers from St. Vincent and the Grenadines in restorative practices. One of the persons trained in 2017 was Mrs. Hamilton Dockwell, and she received advanced training in 2018, as did Ms. Warner. And these two persons are the shining lights of our training program. They're the best of the two. So now we are putting them together to see what they can learn from each other. Delivery. And so you are a very privileged group. This is the first time the two of them will be working together since they've been trained.
Training was also conducted with mediators in SVG under the Impact Justice Project, which targeted adults.
Alternative dispute resolution tool. We have trained mediators in St. Vincent and Grenadines as well. And this afternoon, actually, I'm going to be meeting with two persons who I'm hoping will start a community mediation program in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And what it means is that they will be available to hear cases that really should not end up in court. If you have a little problem with your neighbor and something in the family and so on, things that can be dealt with by a well-trained and impartial third person who will assist in guiding the parties to a solution that the parties themselves propose.
The Impact Justice Project has as its ultimate objective the improvement of access to justice, benefiting men, women, boys and girls, youth and businesses across 13 CARICOM countries. The prize-giving ceremony for the 2019 Nine Mornings Festival will take place at 9:30 tomorrow morning at the Peace Memorial Hall. At the ceremony, prizes will be distributed in the various community lighting competitions, and the announcements of winners for the Best Nine Mornings Community, Best Christmas Community, Best Community on Parade, Best Community Song, and Most Popular Local Christmas Song. In results announced already for the 2019 festivities, Point Village took the title for a 7th year in the community lighting competition, with Olivia De Silva of Cane End winning the Best Lit Garden and Nativity Scene, and the Roseau Recreational Park took the Best Lit Garden title. Addresses at tomorrow's ceremony will come from Minister of Culture Cecil Mackey, representatives of the major sponsors, the National Lotteries Authority and VINLEC, with a special presentation on 9 nights. The SVG 9 Mornings Committee has hailed 2019 as another successful year for the festival, celebrated under the theme, Christmas is We. TNT Police Complaints Authority expressed concern about police shootings in the country. This from the region when we return. Stay tuned.
That was a local news segment.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, juicy, drink today. Juicy, juicy, same great taste. Juicy, juicy, the original drink. It's a Vinci Tang. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci Tang. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci Tang. Juicy.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Cause nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
The Vallejo Experience. We cater for all of your psychological needs. We promote holistic wellness, balancing the mind, body, and spirit. I am Dr. Giselle Miller, CEO and founder of the Vallejo Experience. Contact us today. We are willing and ready to serve you.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at QCare Pharmacy. QCare leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. QCare Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region, we hear that the Police Complaints Authority in Trinidad and Tobago says it is concerned about the number of fatal police shootings for the year so far. And with the police commissioner promising to go even harder against criminals, the PCA says it is ready to ramp up its investigations. We hear more in this report.
So Mr. David West, if he could claim overtime, he's going to make a lot of money next year, because the police service, we are going hard and fast on these criminals.
Well, head of the Police Complaints Authority, David West, assures the PCA is ready.
If it is that the Commissioner of Police is giving me extra work, I hope he has extra men, because the police officers, if they are charged, should be suspended pending the outcome of the investigation.
For the first 8 days of 2020, there have been 6 fatal police shootings. According to the PCA director, this is more than the amount recorded for the same period last year.
Compared to last year, the first police-involved shooting didn't take place until the 19th of January last year. And there were 3 police-involved shootings for the month of January last year.
It's something the PCA director says he is concerned about.
So we note with concern the increase in fatal police shootings, and we will do our level best to investigate it and to come to a conclusion, a recommendation as soon as possible.
West says the PCA conducted over 500 investigations in 2019 and notes that more than half of these investigations have been concluded. As for this year, he says the authority has its resources in place.
We have a satisfactory complement of investigators and attorneys. We will, of course, budgetary requirements permit, increasing our staff.
The PCA director notes the authority is not oblivious to the challenges officers face while on duty in protecting themselves. He also says there's been an improvement in the collaboration between the TTPS and the Police Complaints Authority, especially as it relates to obtaining documents from police stations.
The mosquito-borne disease dengue is still a threat to Jamaicans. Back in December, the Ministry of Health stepped up its stepped up its enhanced vector control program to eliminate mosquito breeding sites. However, as we hear in this CVM news report, there have been several reports of dengue cases since the start of the year.
Public education campaigns have been rolled out, vector control programs are in effect, and still dengue cases are widespread. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has employed 1,000 temporary workers employed to carry out public education and search and destroy activities. This includes eliminating breeding sites and the expanded fogging program to kill the adult mosquitoes in high-risk and other communities. Residents report that the dengue crisis is affecting their families. One resident said her child was diagnosed with the illness.
Some mosquito did bite him up at the school and him come home having fever and stuff like that, not feeling well. Take him to the doctor, them say him have internal bleeding. Yeah, and him did end up in the ICU because a little boy from Ward died from the same dengue, so he went into a panic. And him have the asthma, him couldn't breathe well, so him ended up in the ICU.
Members of the KSAMC are now visiting possible breeding sites in an effort to address the issue.
We are taking steps in terms of, we believe that if we have volunteers, if we have a team of persons working in high priority areas and communities, but also right across the municipalities, and doing the inspections and also educating the residents in terms of the steps that they can take.
Iran denies that it brought down a Ukrainian plane with a missile. We have this from the international scene when we come back. Stay with us.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Your home is a long-term investment, including most of its features. So when purchasing windows, ensure to acquire a superior product like Kendra's double-sliding heavy-duty window, optional burglar bars, protective insect screens, rubber-sealed thick glass, stainless steel tracking system and rollers, secure and durable locking system on both panels. Inferior products on the market fail to secure your home effectively. So be on alert for inferior imitation. Key things to avoid are problematic latching locks, a poor tracking system, making daily operation of your windows difficult and sometimes impossible, poorly built insect screens, glued on copycat designs, thin and easy to break glass. Always choose the affordable brand from Kendra's aluminum windows and products, built on a tradition of excellence.
Singer is a family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances, TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals. Right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home. Right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
For over 60 years, we have sought only the best beans grown in the lush hills of the Andean mountains of Colombia. Cold Cafe. We carefully select only the very best beans and roast them to delicious perfection by our experienced roast masters. Cold Cafe. Cold Cafe treats you to one of the finest coffees in the world, available in classic and decaffeinated. A rich flavor and aroma that can only come from 100% Colombian coffee. Cold Cafe. Indulge yourself in our delicious cappuccinos available in classic mocha and French vanilla. Enjoy them hot to warm your soul or cool to cool you down. Either way, they are incredibly satisfying. So go ahead, enjoy Cold Cafe and treat yourself.
Let's go further afield. There have been claims, counterclaims, and outright denials. The head of Iran's civil aviation body insists that the Ukrainian airliner that crashed near Tehran this week was not shot down by Iranian missiles. But Canada says it has intelligence and evidence indicating the plane was downed by Iran. Just 4 hours before the plane crashed, killing all 176 on board, Iran had fired a volley of missiles towards Iraqi military bases hosting U.S. troops. U.S. President Donald Trump said there is no question that Tehran is involved, but many are questioning whether America is partly responsible for raising tensions in the region. We hear more in this report.
This video, posted by the New York Times newspaper, appears to show an explosion as Ukraine Airlines Flight 752 is struck. The plane flies on for several minutes before turning back towards Tehran airport, where security cameras capture the moment it hits the ground. Among the dead were 63 Canadians.
We have intelligence from multiple sources, including our allies and our own intelligence. The evidence indicates that the plane was shot down by an Iranian surface-to-air missile.
At the time of the crash, Iran had fired missiles at bases in Iraq hosting U.S. troops. Iran's military was prepared for a U.S. response, but Iran says the plane was not hit by a missile.
Any statement made before extracting the information contained in the black box is groundless. However, I'd like to assure you that the aircraft was not hit by a missile. The aircraft was on fire for 1.5 minutes after taking off, so the pilot decided to return to the airport. But he had many technical issues at hand.
Iran initially refused to hand over to the US the so-called black boxes used to record cockpit voices and flight data. But Iran has now invited the aircraft's manufacturer, Boeing, to be part of the investigation. France made the aircraft's engines and says it too wants to be involved. And the US National Transportation Safety Board says it's assigned a representative to the investigation. There are reports that debris has been bulldozed into a pile, but one expert says the dead may provide answers.
There could be evidence literally within the bodies of the victims that could point to whether or not, for example, an explosion took place inside or outside of the aircraft.
The United States is said to have given Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky what's described as important data related to the crash. President Zelensky has laid flowers at a makeshift memorial at the airport where the plane was expected to land. At least one vigil is being held in Toronto in Canada. Many of those who died had dual nationalities.
He was coming back home from a trip. He went to go see his mother on the holidays, and he passed away, and we couldn't do anything about it, bro.
Islamic Republic of Iran!
Some are furious that Iran may have been involved in the crash. Others are waiting to find out when the bodies of their loved ones might return home. Rob Matheson.
Well, that's our news for this evening. We have sports just ahead, but before that, we take a look at tonight's local weather forecast.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
Let's go! Turn up the fun!
With Chocolisto and its great flavor, enriched with vitamins and minerals that help you grow.
Chocolisto makes you big and strong.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They call General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices, then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
The present weather conditions this evening are partly cloudy and breezy. Winds are blowing east-northeast at 33 kilometers per hour. The temperature 26.6 degrees Celsius and relative humidity 76%. Barometric pressure 1015.3 millibars. 24-hour rainfall measured just 0.3 millimeters. The maximum temperature today 28.7 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature 24.5. Sunset today was at 5:54 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow morning will be at 6:30. The forecast for tonight, fair to partly cloudy and windy with a few brief showers. The synopsis says the Atlantic high pressure system will remain the dominant feature.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Sunday, January 12th, the Unity Labour Party holds its national convention at the Camden Park Secondary School under the theme ULP Winning Again for SVG. Registration of delegates begin at 8:30 a.m. The open public session starts at 9:30 a.m. And after lunch, we go into our closed business session. Hear from officers of the party, along with political leader and the Prime Minister, Dr. The Honorable Ralph Gonsalves.
I'm very optimistic about this year for the continued socio-economic transformation of our country and the enhancement of our work globally.
So focused this year, I'm gonna win this year. I just progress. We end us on ya.
ULP, Winning Again for SVG. All constituency councils are asked to arrange meals and transportation to and from the venue for the Unity Labour Party National Convention, Sunday, January 12th at the Camden Park Secondary School. Put on your red and hot up the head. The ULP, Winning Again for SVG.
Welcome to the evening sports. We hear that the West Indies claimed an ODI series win over Ireland after a thrilling one-wicket victory in Bridgetown on Thursday. In an extraordinary finish at the Kensington Oval, the Windies went past their target of 238 with one ball remaining in the second ODI. Sheldon Cottrell hit a six off the second-to-last ball of the innings to give the hosts a 2-0 lead in the three-match series. Ireland was left to lament what could have been after an incredible finish to the contest. Paul Stirling, on 63, had guided Ireland to 237 for 9 after they elected to bat first, with Alzari Joseph taking 4 for 32, again starring for the Windies. Rain delays impacted the Windies' chase as Nicholas Pooran, scoring 52, and Kieran Pollard with 40, looked to have had them on track for victory. Hayden Walsh made an unbeaten 46, but it still took a nervy finish for the hosts to get over the line. Ireland almost found a decisive run out off the third ball of the final over, but replays were inconclusive as to whether Mark Adair broke the stumps with the ball or his hands, with Cottrell well short of his ground. They should have sealed victory off the next ball after a mix-up between Walsh and Cottrell, but with both batsmen almost stranded at one end, the latter recovered after Adair was unable to take a clean throw. That would be Ireland's last chance, as Cottrell smashed a six over the covers off the next ball to clinch victory. The final game of the series is in St. George's, Grenada on Saturday. Sent into bat, the Barbados Pride ran into trouble on 74 for 7 after Pacers Josh Thomas and Preston McSween undermined their top-order batting in their opening burst yesterday at the Arnesville Sporting Complex. But Kyle Mayers, batting at 7, came to their rescue with a 3-hour knock that included 6 fours and 4 sixes off 122 balls. Support came from left-arm spinner Jamel Warrican with a defiant 49, batting at 9, and Justin Graves got a start with 20 but failed to carry on. Myers breathed life into the innings by sharing a further 114 in an 8-wicket stand with Warrican, whose 1.5 hour stay included 3 fours and 3 sixes from 81 balls. Mayers reached his milestone in style, clearing the ropes at wide long on off veteran off-spinner Shane Chillingford before he was the last batsman dismissed, caught in the deep off-leg spinner Kieran Cottoy. Cottoy was the most successful Volcanoes bowler, taking 3 for 41 from 10.5 overs, with Thomas, McSween and Chillingford all ending with 2 wickets apiece. A groundbreaking ceremony was held today for the construction of a multi-purpose sporting facility in Sanssouci in south-central Windward. The sporting facility, costing some $600,000 EC dollars, is expected to be completed within the next 3 to 4 months. The facility is expected to be used mainly for netball, volleyball and tennis, along with futsal and basketball. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony, Minister of National Mobilization Frederick Stevenson commended Area Representative Agriculture Minister Saboto Caesar and the Ministry of Sports for conceptualizing the project, and said the facility, upon completion, can be used to host national and regional sporting activities.
Sporting activities would be held here for national events as well, because we're not going to leave everything in Kingston and Arnesville. We want to have activities so that persons from Kingston could come out to South Central here at Sanssouci and play a game of basketball, play a game of netball. The same way we have the facility, the cricket pitch at Park Hill, where we have regional matches. We want to, when St. Vincent and the Grenadines host a basketball tournament for the region, that some of those games would take place right on this facility. That is how we are moving here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
In his remarks, Minister of Finance Camilo Gonsalves said the facility, which will consist of a hard court, 2 bleachers, along with a pavilion housing bathrooms and change rooms, will be a sporting hub on the windward side of the island.
We expect this hard court to be a major hub of sporting activity in this part of the country, because between certainly East St. George and Fancy, it will be the best hard court on this side of the country. And it will be one of the best hard courts that you'll find anywhere in this nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it's thanks to the hard work and the drive of Saboto Caesar.
The evening sports will continue in a moment. Stay tuned.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
LA Unique Upholstery. Quality at a low cost. We build to suit your needs. contact us at Redemption Shops 457-0182 or Stony Grounds 453-2089.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. In basketball news, Russell Westbrook returned to his former home, but the Houston Rockets fell to the Oklahoma City Thunder 113-92 in the NBA yesterday. Westbrook was dealt by the Thunder to the Rockets in the offseason after 11 years and MVP and 8 All-Star appearances with Oklahoma City. The Rockets star was given a standing ovation as he returned to Oklahoma City for the first time since the trade, but the Thunder emerged victorious. Westbrook had a game-high 34 points to lead the Rockets away from home, while Danilo Gallinari's 23 points and 11 rebounds fueled the Thunder. The Philadelphia 76ers overcame the absence of All-Star Joel Embiid to trump Eastern Conference rivals the Boston Celtics 109-98. Embiid is set to undergo surgery on a torn ligament in a finger in his left hand, and as the 76ers managed to rally past the Celtics at Wells Fargo Arena. Josh Richardson posted 29 points as the Sixers overturned a double-digit deficit against the Celtics, who dropped their third straight. Angel Correa scored later on as Atletico Madrid beat Barcelona 3-2 in an incident-packed game to reach the Spanish Super Cup final. Koke's clinical strike put Atletico ahead early in the second half. Lionel Messi equalized, and then Antoine Griezmann headed Barcelona into the lead in Saudi Arabia. Alvaro Morata converted a penalty to make it 2-2 before Correa ran through and grabbed the winner with a powerful strike that was too strong for Neto. In the second half, Messi had a goal ruled out by video assistant referee for handball, while Gerard Piqué could have taken the game to extra time but sent his header over the bar. Atletico's 20-year-old Portuguese forward João Felix, who joined the club for £113 million in the summer, was involved in an altercation with Messi in the first half, with the pair going head-to-head. It was sparked by Barca's fullback Jordi Alba appearing to poke his finger in Felix's face. And that's how we end our sports for this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Welcome to Finishing and Furnishing, where a warm and friendly staff awaits you. At Finishing and Furnishing, you feel like you're in a home away from home. You will find a wide range of bedroom, living room, and appliances displayed in a stunning setting. When dealing with furniture, you need to take into consideration the colors of your room. That's why at our Penta Studio, we supply the best in interior and exterior paints. Have wooden furniture? Well, we also have stains, sealers, lacquers to get that matte or gloss finish of your desire. So give us a call at 457-2206 and come on down to Finishing and Furnishing today and start building the home of your dreams.
Sunday, January 12th, the Unity Labour Party holds its national convention at the Camden Park Secondary School under the theme ULP Winning Again for SVG. Registration of delegates begin at 8:30 a.m. The open public session starts at 9:30 a.m. And after lunch, we go into our closed business session. Hear from officers of the party, along with political leader and the Prime Minister, Dr. The Honorable Ralph Gonsalves.
I'm very optimistic about this year for the continued socio-economic transformation of our country and the enhancement of our work globally.
So focused this year, I'm gonna win this year. I just progress. We end us round, yeah.
ULP Winning Again for SVG. All constituency councils are asked to arrange meals and transportation to and from the venue for the Unity Labour Party National Convention, Sunday, January 12th at the Camden Park Secondary School. Put on your red and hot up the head. The ULP Winning Again for SVG.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
And now we take a second look at the headlines for this evening. PM Gonsalves urges UN to desist from making excuses for the many issues that threaten global peace and security. TNT Police Complaints Authority expressed concern about police shootings in the country. Iran denies that it brought down a Ukrainian plane with a missile. And in sports, Windies secure ODI series win over Ireland with a thrilling one-wicket victory on Thursday. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I'm Khalil Kato. Don't forget you can visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and for daily headlines, and also tune in to SVG-TV at 12:45 p.m. weekdays for News in 15. Enjoy your evening and your weekend.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They claim General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Make no excuse. Claim those fitness goals with a little help from Quartz. Save big on home fitness equipment when you shop with up to 15% off. Plus, get a chance to win a free spin bike. Shop today and pay nothing until March with Quartz Ready Finance. Make no excuses. Shop and win. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.